One of the other pieces was we needed to develop a singular story, a singular and scalable story that would hit multiple touch points, right? We had to care for several different things, not just location, but we had to have a brand that would be true to who we are as an organization and that would speak to students, right? It would resonate with students as future grads, as well as it would people that are in the middle of their career, people ending their career, people looking to come back into the workforce, right? We had so many different pieces that we wanted to care for. We knew this was going to be a challenge, but it was something we had to keep on the map, right? Something that we didn't want to ignore. The other piece was we needed to extend communication options into new markets, areas we had never been before. Right? We needed to realize that, historically, and here's where we get a little dirty, right? But historically, we haven't invested a ton of money in our employment marketing. I mean, okay, we do job boards. Okay, we do some online marketing. Okay, we've done marketing in terms of running paper ads. Okay, we have a website. But we really haven't done anything that's been tremendously aggressive or something that really focuses on marketing our culture, marketing our jobs, as passionately as we market our products, right? And we knew that was a disservice. We're out of our minds. If your people, right, are your number one asset, right? And we're looking to add to that, to build to that. We want to be top of mind when people start thinking about jobs. MIT grads, right? We knew that MIT grads don't think of Pepsi when they start thinking of jobs, right? But we have an amazing innovation center. Right? We just have some amazing things going on that we weren't sharing. And we knew we needed to take a good look at that and start to tell that story. So before we kicked it off, we knew it was going to be about global. It became about getting immersed in those challenges and really understanding where we came out on that. So what we did was we pulled together a very large focus group that consisted of employees from 7 different countries. And within that focus group, we ran the gamut. I mean, we had people who had 1 year of service. We had people who had 15 and 30 years of service. We had frontline bottlers. We had executives, middle management. I mean, really, and new college hires and interns. We pulled them in from all levels, right? All departments, all groups, all brands, and said, all right, guys, what is it that gets your heart pumping? What is it that drives you about working here? Right? What is it that you're able to accomplish because you work here? How are you making an impact? What would you tell? I mean, if you had to go and tell your mother that there's a job opening and you think she's going to be a great fit, would you do it and why? And what they ended up coming back with collectively were 3 items that became literally the pillar, the new heart brand for our employment initiatives. Right? The first was performing with purpose. Right? Our employees are passionate about doing something with that accomplishment in mind, right? Actually knowing that they're going to have an impact on the environment, knowing that they're going to have an impact on their workforce, on themselves, right? Knowing that they are moving forward and making changes. This was big for them. It's big within our culture. The second piece that we came back with was real-world leadership, right? We have a great story that's out on the website right now. Ron Connor he started stocking shelves for us. He now runs one of the plants. This guy, I mean, in a relatively short matter of time has walked right up the chain, right? Because he's been passionate about leading and passionate about making a difference, and it shows. And our employee body the culture is phenomenal because and I hate to sound like I'm pitching PepsiCo as an employer, but the culture is very different than most large employers, right? It's not a command and control mentality that comes down. It's more about pushing ideas up, right, and fostering that growth. And this was another aspect that the employees in this focus group said, we want to deliver that message. The third was together we win, right? Indra Nooyi issued a statement to us that said, hey, our goal, right, is to win at everything we do. If you don't want to win, go the hell home, right? We're not out here to come in second place. We're certainly not out here to come in last. And we're not out here to sit in the corner, right? Nobody puts baby in a corner, right? So we're out here to get noticed. We want to win at everything we do, right? Thank you for everybody keeping up with So what we did was we pulled these up, and ultimately these came back and rolled up into Carpe Diem, baby. Seize the day, right? This is about taking a hold of today and making a difference and truly turning this brand. We need to pull this together and truly turn this is a global who we are vision and message for PepsiCo.
So you did something very interesting there for me. That journey that you took us down went from $18 billion brands and all of these others that will one day be billion-dollar brands. And I would have thought that you would have, slapped those logos in and take your house of brands and make it a branded house. If I were not sitting up here, I'd be tweeting like mad, right? But you took us from those 18 brands to actually your people, which we heard from the panel this morning is really what matters. Our people are our number one asset. Why do you want to work here? How will you evolve with us over time? And I don't know about you, but I wouldn't have expected that, right? So I think that as we see this, that's where this listening and understanding why do you work here, not what do you do here, right, is part of our brand. We go from what we sell to who gets us there, what moves us along. So I know that's was a nice mix for me. But are we going to see the brand?
I'm getting there.
I know.
Getting to the brand.
I want to see
building
the
up
brand,
into some.
right?
Yeah.
Let's go to the brand. I get it. I want to know now if I can do it.
Here's the brand.
Here's the brand.
Right.
Check this.
So we came up with this just glorious tagline. We loved it. Infinite possibilities. Right. And anything is possible. This is huge. We were so amped when we drove this out and we were sharing with the team and the collective, the workforce that's on it. And I remember being on this call and we shared it and we loved it. In fact, we had already started down the road of what stories will we tell. We had begun to engage in the field, and what we're building is literally a library of video stories from employees from around the globe that will tell us the amazing things they're able to do. Their job helps to empower them to compete in marathons or in races. We've got a wonderful story that gets released soon that talks about one of our plants that it's solar powered. I mean, all of the work that Christian White is doing to actually reduce the footprint that plant leaves on the earth. So we were excited about these stories, right? And the delivery. And so it's funny, I remember the call. We were actually on a telephone call, and we were sharing this. And one of the recruiters that's London-based over in the UK and love them actually, brilliant recruiting team, one of the finest. We're working on several different technology and marketing products. They've been great partners, but so shout out to them. They're actually up watching this, so that's great. Gently came back to us and said, infinite. The call got really quiet, and we went, what? We love it, infinite, anything, yes, yes, yes. I said, it sounds very American. It was right? So it was a very, very gentle way to say, this brand may not work for all of us, and they loved it. They loved the spirit. I mean, we were spot on with the spirit of the marketing. I mean, this was a long project, years in the making, tons of hurdles. This was what we had come up with. This was the delivery. We're here. And they go, you Yanks, not so much. And they were very polite, right, in explaining it to us that this was a bit of a challenge. And I think in the next 15 minutes, it dawned on us, right? The spirit of the brand is what we wanted to deliver. Not just infinite possibilities, but rather possibilities, right? So maybe if giving you the freedom to tell a different story in a different market, deliver the core value, deliver the spirit, the global message of possibilities at PepsiCo, right? What's possible here, but allow the recruiters, crazy idea, to customize that brand as it's applicable to them, right, in their market. So if they're recruiting, for our innovation center, perhaps it's innovative possibilities, right? If they're recruiting on campus, perhaps it's leadership possibilities, right? So sort of exciting. So what we knew was we were putting the sexy back in employment ads, right? We were cleaning it up. We were going to knock it out of the park. So this is one of the actually creatives, and if you can see this online, this is actually one of the marketing pieces that we were playing with and we were going to push out there, that we do have employees that are passionate about actually making a difference in school lunches, right? And it goes out, and this is the marketing piece that goes out, this was the total, and it says, hey, possibilities. But what if we took it one step further and we allowed to market it as healthy possibilities? And we did a little bit more than that. We just got sick, kind of crazy. And we gave our recruiters everything they needed to build their own brand around possibilities. Inclusive possibilities, global possibilities, local possibilities, right? Forgive the pun, the possibilities are limitless, right? So that they can actually deliver these messages. And so what we've done is we've taken an effort to build, and we're still working on it, right? Because we're in phase 1. But we've taken an effort to literally build up a platform that all of them can collaborate on together globally, where all of them can bounce ideas off of each other, right? And really talk about why this works, why this one doesn't work. We've given them everything from the creative files, the artwork, to the fonts, right? Because they're proprietary fonts. We don't mess around, right? We had a typographer, we went in, we took this on, we went big, right? Go big, go home, right? Giving them the font so that literally, if they have something that comes up that they need to hire for, and they want to create their own possibilities campaign, they have everything they need to walk into either a local agency or walk into a print shop and just print that stuff off and take it with them. Right? Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. I just think it's incredibly innovative just in thought that a recruiter, because this is your vision for this, frontline person who's responsible for bringing in the right talent. We have to source the right talent. We have to narrow down that talent, and we have to recommend that talent to the people who are doing it. To give me the control to be able to, with the structure of this, to make decisions is not something that we do. Right? Well, it's here, you use this. And we don't even let some of our own, in some organizations, recruiters cannot even adjust the job posting. Yeah. Right? They can't even, they just have to choose this number and then it auto-populates from some HRIS, into the world, and there's no control or manipulation at all. So I think when you look at, it'll be interesting to chat about how the adoption of that works, where you take people from, oh, I can't do that, to possibilities at their desk. I think that's transformational, and it's one of those things that I think we'll all hopefully start to copy, small or large, right? So does that? Am I on my own planet on that? That's something that we don't do. I didn't do when I was running recruiting at a Fortune 500 organization. I wouldn't have dreamt of letting someone make that kind of decision. I would have told you, no, it's actually not healthy possibilities. I think you need inspiring. Wait, no, emerging. Wait, no, seize the possibilities. We try to have too much control over it instead of trusting the people who manage our brand every day, empowering them to make the right decisions. So kudos to you. Well,
I think that's really what it was all about. I mean, who would kill for that level of flexibility in here to be able to drive that mission? Because nobody knows your candidates better than you. This is a recruiter, right? Nobody knows that market better than you. So we can have somebody sitting in corporate that tells you, research shows that this color, and they can A/B test and they can knock themselves silly all day long. But the real win, we believe, is the ability to customize these as they're appropriate. And based on we had a global meeting we threw in Chicago not too long ago to sort of announce this internally. We couldn't keep up. The request came in and said, give me some possibilities. Give me some of that stuff. Right? So we're racing still to keep up to deliver this out to the field in the different markets.
So that, to me, that says now you have delivered ownership of the brand at that frontline level, right? They feel as if now they have the right to ask you for more things. They own their own employment brand. And I think that that's a stretch for many of us who are working on employment brands and leading this conversation to even put in scope that it isn't just a push out of this information, right? So I think that's a big challenge to those of us talking about employment brand in general, let alone Glocal, right? Or global and regional application. I think it's more than just regional. This is really, who's your audience? What are you trying to do?
Absolutely.
So very cool stuff.
Absolutely. So there were some lessons. So this is the part I hope that gets some of the conversation going, right? But these are sort of some of the lessons that we learned along the way. There aren't a ton of them, so everybody's reading from a slide. But we knew we had to go global or don't even bother, right? I mean, what's the point? So we knew that when we laid stuff out, we had to bring in those people that ran through all parts of our business. Or what was the point? It just wasn't going to be any good. It wasn't going to deliver. It wasn't going to resonate with those jobs that we were trying to fill.